Hello grade 5, welcome back to my channel for our video tutorial lesson. We are now in week number 7 and we will be working with module number 13 of the first quarter. In this module, you are going to gain understanding in solving routine and non-routine problems involving multiplication without or with addition or subtraction of fractions and whole numbers using appropriate problem-solving strategies and tools. Let's start our lesson for today with a problem. It says, Joey spent 16 years of his life studying from elementary to college. He spent 3/8 of this length of time in college. How many years did he spend in college? Another problem that we will have to try later is, Pedro is 144 centimeters tall, and his sister Joanne is 1/6 taller than him. How tall is Joanne? Another springboard problem that we will have to try later is, a rectangular piece of paper is 8 1/2 inches wide and 13 centimeters long. If a border of 3/4 inch is to be drawn on all sides of the paper, what is the area enclosed by the border? Let's try to solve our first problem. Of course, in solving the problem, we always have to be guided of Polia's 4 steps in solving the problem. The first one is we need to understand the problem. And in order for us to understand the problem, let us know what is asked and what are given. And of course, the second step is to plan. We will have to know what operations are involved in this problem. And of course, we have to write the number sentence. The next step is to solve. Then that's the time that you have to show your solution. And the last one is to check. Of course, you really have to look back, or you really have to check if what is asked in the problem and check if your answer is correctly done, and of course if it is completely labeled. So this time, let us consider the first problem here in what's new. And of course, what is asked in this problem is the number of years he spent in college. What are the given in this problem are 16 years of his life studying from elementary to college. That's for the entire years studying in elementary to college. And of course, 3/8 of that length was spent in college. To fully understand the problem, let's try to use visuals or models for our problem. For example, in our given here, we have 16 years of his life studying from elementary to college. We could represent it this way. This is the entire year spent by Joey studying from elementary to college. And that is 16 years. The next thing that we have to do is to show 3/8 of it, because only 3/8 of that length was spent in college. So in order for us to show 3/8, of course, we have to divide first the entire region into 8 equal portions, approximately 8 equal portions. After you already divided the whole region into 8 equal parts, the next thing that you have to do is to shade 3 parts. These 3 parts would show us 3/8 or 3 parts out of 8 equal parts. Okay? And this 3/8 is the time spent in college. You are only asked here if how many years did he spend in college. In this illustration, it is clearly shown that 16 years here was divided into 8 equal parts. So we could say 16 divided by 8 units. So therefore, that will give us the value of 1 unit. So if we have 16 to be divided by 8, that will show us 1 unit. So 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2. That is equal to 1 unit. So it simply means each unit here is 2. This is also 2. Each unit is equal to 2. Now, if this is 2, 2, 2, 2, all of them will sum up to 16. That's correct. So for the entire years he spent from elementary to college, which is 16 years, so 3/8 was spent during college years. So when we say 3/8, it is obvious here that 3/8 means 3 units. So, and for us to get the value of 3 units, if each unit is 2 times 3, that will be for 3 units. So that is 6 is equal to 3 units. Therefore, we could say that he spent 6 years studying or studying in college. Let's now proceed to second problem. Our second problem here is that Pedro is 144 centimeters tall and his sister Joanne is 1/6 taller than him. How tall is Joanne? In this problem, what is asked here is the height of Joanne. The height of Joanne. And of course, the given here is the 144 centimeters, which is the height of Pedro. And of course, 1/6 taller, which is the height of Joanne. So, in this problem, we will try to analyze first if who is taller. Will it be Pedro or Joanne? Sino yung mas mataas? Si Pedro ba or si Joanne? In this case, in the problem, says here that Joanne is 1/6 taller than Pedro. This problem can be illustrated this way. For example, this is the height of Pedro. And this height of Pedro, as to the given, that's from here up to here, that's 144 centimeters. Of course, Joanne is 1/6 taller. When we say 1/6 taller, of course, in order for us to show 1/6, then we have to divide it by 6 equal parts. Ayan, 6 equal parts. Then after that one, you have to show the height of Joanne through illustration. But if our illustration is like this one, so magkasing taas lang si Joanne at si Pedro. They have the same height. If our illustration would look like this one, we will also divide Joanne's height into 6 equal parts. That's it. So they are just equal or the same. But according to the problem, Joanne is 1/6 taller. So in order for us to show 1/6, the next thing that you have to do is to add 1/6 as big as this. As big as that. You will add to Joanne's height. This is the 1/6. That's it. So the next thing that we have to do is we already illustrated the height of Pedro, which is from this point to that point. Yung entire whole block nito is 144 centimeters. But the question is, how tall is Joanne? So from here up to here, what's the value or what's the quantity of this illustration? In order for us to solve that one, I think we have to use the height of Pedro first, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 units is equal to 144 centimeters. We need to know the value of each unit, 1 unit. So that is 144 divided by 6. If you are to divide 144 by 6, the correct answer is 1 unit is equal to 24 centimeters. So each unit here is equal to 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24. Of course, if each unit is 24, the next thing that you have to do is to write the value of each unit, which is 24. Then, of course, Joanne is 1/6 taller than Pedro, which is equal this 1/6. This 1/6 is also equal to 24. So, therefore, the height of Joanne is 144 centimeters plus 24 centimeters. That would give us 168 centimeters, and that's the height of Joanne. So that is 24, or that is also equal to 24 times 7, which is also equal to 168 centimeters. So the height of Joanne is 168 centimeters. Let us now proceed to our last opening problem, which is a rectangular piece of paper is 8 and 1/2 inches wide and 13 inches long. If a border of 3/4 inch is to be drawn on all sides of the paper, what is the area enclosed by the border? Of course, what we are looking here is the area of the enclosed border. Of course, our given here are the following: 8 and 1/2 inches wide and 13 inches long of that rectangular piece of paper. And of course, we do have a border which is 3/4 inch is drawn in all sides. So our problem would look like this one. This is our paper, a rectangular piece of paper. Of course, the length is the longer side, which is 13 inches. Here it is, from this point to this point. That's the length. And of course, the width is the shorter side, which is 8 and 1/2 inches. The next thing that we have to do is we will draw a border which is 3/4 inch thick inside. So our problem would look like this one. Of course, the distance from here up to here, from the outer portion and the inner border here, is 3/4 inch. Of course, also here, that's also 3/4 inch. And here, that's also 3/4 inch. And here, this is also from this point to that point, that is also 3/4 inch. The next thing that we have to do is we have to know the area of the enclosed by the border. So the area of this portion. Now, do you have the idea on how to solve for the area of the rectangular figure? Because our figure inside here is rectangular. So to solve for the area, we need to know the length and width. And what shall we do with the length and the width? We will get the product of the length and the width, and that will give us the area of the figure inside enclosed by the borders. So because we are only getting the area of the portion enclosed by the borders here, and the given length 13 inches is for the area of the entire region with borders. So we need to know first what is the length of the area enclosed by the border. Of course, if you notice from this point to this point, this is 3/4 centimeters. Okay? And of course, from this point to this point, that is also 3/4 centimeters. Inches, I mean. So if this is 3/4 and this is 3/4, so therefore the length is just 13 minus dalawang 3/4. That's the length. 13 minus dalawang 3/4. Of course, after that one, we also have to get the width of that region. So from here up to here. Remember, from here up to here only. And if you notice, this one is given, which is 8.5. So if you will try to look at our length here inside, so meron siyang 3/4 na difference. And of course, here there's another 3/4 na difference. Pagkat hanggang dito lang po yung ating width from this point to that point. So the next thing that we have to do is that's also 8.5. Then we will subtract dalawang 3/4 pa din. Okay? So 8.5 minus dalawang 3/4. So you need to solve for the length first and the width. Then you multiply. Then yun na po yung sagot sa ating katanungan. And if we will try to solve this, Of course, 13 minus 2 times 3/4, I think pwede nating makancel yung 2 at 4 kasi yung denominator nito is 1, ang 2 ay numerator at tsaka yung 4 dito is denominator. We could cancel them both divisible by 2. So this will give us 1 and this will give us 2. Then after that one, multiply numerator by numerator, which is equal to 3, and denominator by denominator, which is equal to 2. So that's 3/2. Then after that one, we will also have to solve for here for this. So that is 8 and 1/2 minus, of course, we multiply this one first because it's inside the parentheses. So we could cancel 2 and 4, divide it by 2, so that is equal to 1. And here is 2, so that is 3/2. After you already have that one, we will subtract 13, or we will subtract 3/2 from 13. The next thing that we have to do is to subtract 3/2 or 1 and 1/2 from 13. And the same thing here, we will have to subtract 1 and 1/2 or 3/2 from 8.5. And of course, we could not subtract 1/2 from 13, so we could write 13 as 12 and 2/2. 2/2 here is also equal to 1, so 1 plus 12, that is equal to 13. So I just borrowed 1 from 13, so that is 12 plus 1, that is equal also to 13. Then I will subtract 1.5. And the next thing that I have to do is 8 and 1/2 minus 1.5. Oh, sorry. So, in this problem, the next thing that we have to do is to subtract, which is equal to 2/2 minus 1/2, that will give us 1/2. Then 12 minus 1 is equal to 11. The next thing that we have to do, we will also subtract these 2, so that is 1/2 minus 1/2 is equal to 0. So 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. Therefore, the length of this enclosed figure here is 11.5, and of course the width is 7. That is the length and the width we are looking for in order for us to solve for the area. So we will just multiply 11.5 by 7. 11.5 times 7, of course, we cannot multiply it yet because our number here is in mixed form. We have to express it into improper fraction in order for us to multiply numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So 2 times 11 is 22 plus 1, that will give us 23. Then copy the denominator 2. Then you multiply it by 7, but the denominator of 7 is 1. Okay? Then the next thing that you have to do is to multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. So if we have 23 times 7, so 3 times 7 is 21, regroup 2. 2 times 7, that is equal to 14, plus 2, that is equal to 16. Then 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Okay? So this is now our answer, but this is expressed in improper fraction. So the next thing that we have to do is to express it into mixed form. So 161 divided by 2, that will give us 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract. So bring down 1. 1 divided by 2 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Subtract, that is 1. So therefore, our answer is 80 and 1/2. So that is 80 and 1/2. You are asked here of the area of the enclosed border. So the area of this region here is, the area here is 80 and 1/2 inches squared, or 80 and 1/2 square inches. I think you are now ready for our exercises. I want you to try this problem and I will show to you the solution later. The first problem that we have to try One rainy day, 1/5 of the 40 pupils in Miss Trigo's class were absent. How many pupils were absent? So, I want you to pause this video and try to solve it. Let us now try to solve this problem. Of course, let us always be reminded that if we are solving problems, let us follow the steps suggested by Polia. So the first thing that we have to know is what is asked in this problem. And in this problem, you are asked of the number of pupils who were absent that day. So, the given here are the following. 1/5 of the pupils of the 40 pupils were absent. So that could be best illustrated this way. For example, this is the total number of pupils, this whole block, which is equal to from here up to here, that is equal to 40 pupils. And of course, only 1/5 are absent. So when we say 1/5, to show 1/5, we have to divide the entire region into 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing that we have to do is to shade one part to show 1/5. So this problem can be solved by, of course, that 40 is equal to 5 units. Then we are looking only for 1 unit. So that is 40 divided by 5, which is equal to 1 unit is equal to 8. So this is 8, this is also 8, this is also 8, this is also 8, this is also 8. Luckily that we are just looking for 1/5 or 1 part out of the 5 equal parts, or 1 unit out of 5 units. So 1/5 of 40 is equal to 8 pupils. Therefore, there are 8 pupils who were absent. Okay? So that's the answer for the first problem. Let's try another problem. The school band has 36 members. 3/4 of them are girls. How many girls are in the band? This problem is looking for the number of girls in the band. And of course, our given here are the following. 36 members of the band and 3/4 of them are girls. So, if we are to illustrate the problem, for example, this is the entire number of members in the band, which is equal to this one up to this one, that's 36. Then we are to get 3/4 of that. Of course, in order for us to show 3/4, we have to divide the entire region into 4 equal parts. And of course, we have to shade only 3 parts out of that 4. So, that's 3/4. But in this problem, or in that illustration, we could just simply say that 1, 2, 3, 4 units is equal to 36. So, we are looking for 1 unit actually, because kung alam mo or makukuha mo yung value ng 1 unit, alam mo na yung value ng 3 units. So, 1 unit is equal to 36 divided by 4, which is 1 unit is equal to 9. So, this is 9, 18, 27, 36. So, now, it is clear that if we are looking for the 3/4 of that entire region, that is equal to 9 plus 9 plus 9, or this 3/4 is equal to 27. Therefore, there are 27 girls in the band. Let's try another problem. The distance around the oval track is 160 meters. If Kent ran around the track 1/2 times, how far did he run? So, you are asked here of the distance covered by Kent. How far did he run? So that is the distance covered by Kent, because our given here is 160 meters and he only ran 1/2 times of that. So I want you to pause this video and try to do it by yourself. I will go back to you later for the solution. In order for us to solve this problem, inuulit ko and I keep on repeating that we always have to be reminded of the steps, the Polias four-way steps or four steps in solving the problem, which is we need to know what is asked, next what are given, which I already mentioned a while ago, and of course we have to look for the strategy in order for us to solve this problem. Actually, this problem could be easily solved by getting 1/2 of 160 meters. As easy as that. Or you could also show it using the illustration, such as, for example, this is the entire oval, which is 160 meters, and you are only to get 1/2. So to get the 1/2 of that, you need to divide it by 2 equal parts and just shade one part. That's 1/2. And of course, that is 160 is equal to 2 units. So we need to get 1 unit. So that is equal to 160 divided by 2. So that is 80, 1 unit. So if this is 80, this is also 80. Therefore, the distance covered by Kent is 80 meters. Or if you are to get 1/2 of 160, that will also give us, cancel this one. Multiply numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. 160 is the denominator of 1. And of course, 2 here is a denominator and 160 here is a numerator. Both of them are divisible by 2. So this will become 1 and this will become 80. 1 times 80 is 80. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Because our denominator is 1, therefore, that's also a whole number which is equal to 80. Same here. So therefore, the answer is 80 meters. Let's try another problem. Joel made 10 garden pots. He planted pechay on 2/5 of these. Find the number of garden plots planted with pechay. So, I want you to pause this video and try to solve this problem. To solve this problem, we need to know what is asked in the problem. You are only asked here of the number of garden plots planted with pechay. Of course, our given here, we do have 10 garden plots. And of course, 2/5 were planted with pechay. So, to solve this problem, you are only asked to get 2/5 of the 10. Or that's just simply 2/5 times 10, which is equal to the number of plots planted with pechay. As simple as that. So you could have 2/5 times 10 over 1. That will be cancel 5 and 10 because they are both divisible by 5. This will become 1. This will become 2. So that is 2 times 2 is equal to 2. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Or that is equal to 2. So 2 plots planted with pechay. Or you could illustrate it this way. So for example, this is the total number of plots, which is equal to 10. And of course, we need to get 2/5 as planted by pechay. So we have to divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that 5 units is equal to 10. We need to get 2 units. 1 unit is equal to 10 divided by 5. 1 unit is equal to 2. So if 1 unit is equal to 2, so this is equal to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And we are to get 2/5. So that 2/5 is equal to 4. 4 plots. Okay, if you notice here, our answer here is wrong because we haven't multiplied 2 and 2 here, which is 2 times 2 is supposed to be 4 and not 2. Sorry for that. Okay, so 4 over 1, because 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So 4 over 1, because our denominator is 1, so therefore that's already a whole number which is equal to 4. So that's why we really have to check always our answer. So the correct answer is 4 plots. Sorry for that. 4 garden plots planted with pechay. And the last item that we have to do is item number 5, which is a garden plot is 6/9 meters wide and 9 meters long. What is the area of the plot in square meters? So pause this video and try to do it by yourself. Then I will go back to you for the solution later. To solve for this problem, again, we need to know what is asked. And what is asked in this problem is the area of plot in square meters. The given here are 6 meters wide, which is the width, and 9 meters long, which is the length. So, as what I have told you a while ago, in order for us to solve for the area, we need to multiply the length and the width. And of course, the length here is 9 meters times the width, which is 6 9 meters. So to solve this problem, we are only to multiply 9 by 6 ninths. Of course, that is 9 times 6 ninths. The denominator of 9 here is 1. And of course, it is pretty obvious that 9 and 9 here are both divisible by 9. So this will give us 1 and 1. Then multiply numerator by numerator. So that is equal to 6, denominator by denominator, which is equal to 1, or that is also equal to 6. So this is our rectangular garden plot, which is 9 meters by 6 9 meters. Or that is also the area here inside, the area. That is equal to 6 meters, the area here inside. So our answer is, because we have here a unit of meters times, we have here the unit of meter and meter, so meter times meter, sorry for that. Meter times meter is meter squared, so 6 meters squared. So meter times meter is equal to 6 meters squared. So our answer is 6 meters squared, or 6 square meters. I think you are now ready for your assessment. Of course, the direction here says that solve the following problems using appropriate strategies and tools. The answers are provided in column B. So you are only to match column A with column B. But I want you to take note of the choices in column B. So take out your paper or answer sheet and copy first column B. The column B are the following. Letter A, that's 10 and 110 and 1/4. Again, letter A, 110 and 1/4. Letter B, we have here 64. Letter C, we have here 18. Letter D, that is 10. Letter E, that's 4.5 or 4.5. Letter F, that's 27. And letter G, that's 180. Copy all those. Letter H, that's 90. Letter I, that's 57. Letter J, that's 30. Letter K, that's 27 and 5/10 or 27.5. Again, H is 90, I is 57, J is 30, K is 27.5 or 27 and 5/10. Let us now try to go back to the problems that you will have to solve. Of course, you already have the choices there in column B, so all you have to do is to match it with the problems in column A. So here are the problems. Question number 1. 6 pitchers, each filled with 3/4 liters of juice, was served to Jobel's visitors. Find the total amount of juice served. Number 2. Mrs. Fuelas wants to cover the floor of her square living room with red carpet. One side of the room is 10 and 2/4 meters long. Find the area of the carpet that will cover the floor of her living room. You could pause and try to solve it now, or you could just simply take note of the details for each number and solve it later. For item number 3, Christian has 20 prizes. He decided to give one half to the winners of the relay game. How many of the prizes are for the relay game? For item number 4, in one parade, three-fourths of the girls wore skirts made of straw. How many girls wore skirts or straw skirts? For item number 5, Mr. Mendez had 20 pieces of lumber that were all of the same length. If each piece of lumber were 3 and 1/5 inches long and he put them side by side, what would be the total length of all pieces together? For item number 6, I spent two-thirds of my weekly allowance on food and save one-half of the remaining amount. If my weekly allowance is 165 pesos, how much money do I get to save every week? For item number 7, consider that two-fifths of a group of children are girls. If there are 12 girls, how many children are in the group? For item number 8, Addis thought that the travel from home to school would take three-fourths of an hour, but because of traffic, the travel took one-fifth hour longer. How many minutes did the actual travel take? For item number 9, Miss Fabi made 450 cookies. She sold two-fifths of the cookies and gave one-third of the remaining cookies to the frontliners. How many cookies are left? And for item number 10, in a 30-item test, Gina answered 4/5 of the items correctly. Raphael got 3 more items correct than Gina. How many items did Raphael answer correctly? So there you have it, the 10 items that you need to solve. So pause this video and answer the 10 problems. Of course, refer to the column B for the choices. Remember to just write the letter of the correct answer. Good luck to you, and kindly submit your assessment on Monday.